everybody, and welcome to my first December daily kind of process video. So in today's video, I am just going to be working in my December journal, and it's kind of a December daily because I am writing in it every single day, but I'm not using any kind of prompts or anything like that. I'm just doing what I would normally do with my daily journal and calling it a December daily. I don't know. But I am going to be working on my weekend layout from last weekend, so Saturday and Sunday. And I'm just quickly putting down some vintage wrapping paper that I have covered in double-sided sticky tape because I'm putting it here in this crease, and it's going to be covering both sides of the paper. And I didn't want any bubbles and wanted it to remain pretty close to the notebook pages. Just because I didn't, like I said, I didn't really want any bubbles and I didn't want it to tear or anything like that. So I just used a bunch of sticky tape, and the reason I didn't use glue is because it tends to, first of all, it tends to bubble, it tends to warp the paper, and I just felt like sticky tape would have been a better option. So yeah, so I'm just using all of the memorabilia from this particular day. The kids got a note from their elf, and if you're curious about this elf headquarters little notepad thing, it's got these typed letters from your family elf for like Elf on the Shelf. I actually got it from a store in Disney Springs. Oh my gosh, it's gonna kill me if I can't remember. Hold on. Okay, I just googled it. It's called Sugar Boo and Co. So Sugar Boo and Company. They do have an online store. I will try to link the store information down below, but I got this 2 years ago, and I've been using it for 2 years straight, and I haven't even touched the amount of little letters there are in there. So there are enough in there for you to do several years worth of these little notes daily if you wanted to, but I only do a couple a month because I do other activities with the elf, like sometimes he brings books, or sometimes there's a letter from Santa. Sometimes there's little activities for them to do, so I don't need to have a little note from him every single day, but yeah, I really love it. It was a really good price, and like I said, you can use it for several years over and over, and I love the look of it with the hand typed and like the old looking paper. I just absolutely love it. So if that's something that you're interested in, I will try to leave it below. Like I said, I don't know if they sell it still, but I will try to leave the store down below because they've got a bunch of really awesome stationery as well. So I did glue it down, and you can see where it's like, can you kind of see how it's a little bit bubbly and like warped? That's kind of why I didn't want to do that with the wrapping paper. I didn't think I was going to glue that note down. I thought I was just going to have it be a tip-in, but once I started laying down everything, I realized that I was going to have to make this one day layout across 2 pages as opposed to just one day on one page. And so I decided to just glue it down to help cover up some space so I wouldn't have to fill as much of the blank space with journaling, because I didn't really need that much space for journaling. But if I tried to squish all of this onto one page, it would have looked silly. So I just went ahead and glued it down and just used some tape to make it look like I just taped it in, but when I really just glued it down. So I'm adding in a couple pictures. So the reason I went A5 this year, I was 100% committed to using my personal insert that I made for my Etsy shop. And I was talking to my husband about it, about why I was kind of conflicted. First being that the A5 gives me a lot more room to add stuff in, pictures and stuff. And though I did A5 last year, I did not add any pictures. And when we were looking through my December dailies in the past, there was tons and tons of pictures, and I really loved seeing the pictures. The kids loved seeing the pictures, and I was really sad that last year, even though I was in the A5 size, I didn't add any photos. And so I talked to my husband about how I was sad that there was no photos for last year, and especially it being Cullen's first Christmas, and I just didn't put the effort in because I was pregnant and not feeling well and had another baby. So he encouraged me to do A5 again so that I could add photos because there was more space, because if I had tried to do it in my standard size traveler's notebook, the notebook itself is already pretty thick, and even though it's already pre-decorated and I wouldn't have had to do any decorating like what I'm doing right now, all I would have had to have done is write the journaling down. If I tried to add pictures in, it would have gotten too bulky and it probably would have ripped itself from its staples. It would have ripped itself apart. And I didn't want that because I have a notebook that's like that, where I tried to use standard size and added in a bunch of stuff, and it's completely fallen apart. The pages are tearing. It's completely torn apart from the staples. I'm having to use a rubber band to kind of hold it together so it's just a mess anyway. So because of that, a lesson learned, I decided to do A5, give myself more space to add in all the ephemera and crap that I'm coming across, which you can clearly see I'm doing a very good job of doing, and add in pictures for what we do that particular day. So for the month of December, I try to do something festive every single day, maybe not Christmas related, but season related. And so I just always do that. So the day before, on Saturday, we did an event at our local hardware store where you could, like, the kids could go in and make like a little holiday craft. So that was our festive thing for the day on Saturday. And then we also went to a holiday parade. And then on Sunday, I went to our local stamp show. It happens once a month. And I picked up a bunch of Christmas stamps for our Christmas cards. But he also had, my vendor there had a bunch of these cool Christmas canceled, like Christmas City canceled postcards, I guess, or silk cachets. The cancellation is from a city that has a holiday or winter themed name. So like, for example, I send my Christmas cards out from a town called Christmas, Florida, and the postmark, it says Christmas, Florida, and this particular one says Snow, Oklahoma. I have one from Evergreen. I have, oh my gosh, it's raining outside and the sun is like full on shining. It almost looks like it's snowing. That's how weird it looks, because it's fully shiny and there's just like rain falling. Anyway, that's weird. Anyway, but I got a bunch of those and decided to just kind of use that kind of, memorabilia stuff that I had gotten that from that event. And then in the afternoon, my husband had a photo shoot for work. They're going to be featured in a magazine. And so we went to the photo shoot to kind of see the behind the scenes of all that stuff. So I had already glued everything and edited all that out because it would have been really boring for you to see me glue a bunch of stuff down. Everything is currently already glued down. I'm going to add my date in and then bring everything in closer for you to see. But yeah, I mean, pretty simple, nothing crazy. I just put in the memorabilia for the day and the photos that I had printed off. And then I go in after the fact and add in all of my journaling. I didn't add a bunch of stuff. The only thing I brought in from my stash on this page was the wrapping paper, the vintage wrapping paper. Right here I'm showing you where I intend to do my journaling. And then on this page I just used a couple things that I got from the stamp show and some ripped papers. So I didn't go crazy. I didn't pull a bunch of stuff from my stash, but I'm still enjoying the process. I have been able to stay up to date. I'm doing it every single day and I'm not getting behind, so that's really fun. And I'm really excited to keep the process going. So stay tuned for a flip through, because I will do a flip through of the first couple weeks so you guys can see all the pages completely finished. And that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Thanks. Bye.